Sis guy, he a visionary.
What the hell?
With the head of the gang or a gang member. And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems, but she wants to indict me to try and run for some other office. What's going on in this country is, and by the way, wants to indict me for a perfect phone call. This was even better than my perfect call with Ukraine. Remember that call? That was a perfect call. This one's better. This one is more perfect. I challenge, and I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member. And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems, but she wants to indict me to try and run for some other office. What's going on in this country is, and by the way, wants to indict me for a perfect phone call. This was even better than my perfect call with Ukraine.
So, first off, he wasn't talking about nothing. Sorry, wasn't talking about nothing. He was talking about Mondo. Y'all got to remember, what happened was Fani Willis had a private practice before she ran for the Fulton County District Attorney, taking over for Paul Howard. She worked for Paul Howard, then she came and she ran her own private practice. They're not talking about Nut, and they ain't talking about Young Thug. So with that being said, because I live in Atlanta, bro, I've never heard of this. Now, if somebody has heard of it, and this has been a rumor that I just ain't heard, then it's just a rumor I ain't heard. So it is what it is. But as far as who Donald Trump is talking about, listen to his words. He said that she prosecuted the head of a gang, not the head of a rival gang. But it's funny. It's hilarious. I would sue for slander and defamation. But the problem with that is literally Donald Trump said that he heard. So it's hearsay. So all he has to do is point to a blog or something that says that basically that cuz was over here getting her cheeks bashed in by a gang member, head of a gang. Because remember, Mondo said he was a founder of YSL. Now, if it just so happens that I'm wrong, that he actually meant Big Nut and all that stuff and everything like that, it still would hold no bearing, because just because you have a relationship with somebody does not mean anything. There are shootings, multiple shootings within YSL. There was a shooting of a lady and one of the rival YFN members who actually crashed her car and she died. If y'all go back and y'all look at the indictment, there's 4 shootings that they reference. They lied and said it was over 50 murders. I'm sorry. In that indictment, there was only about 4 murders. So even if you throw out the Big Nut situation, it still ain't gonna matter. Now, the question is Nash, how do you respond to everybody who say that you're wrong? You have your own opinion. And like I said, I live in the A, and I haven't heard it. Doesn't mean it's not a rumor that's true. All I'm telling y'all is I never heard of this until yesterday. Now, my service was bad. I was in the mountains, man. You know, I was getting my Grizzly Bear Adams on. Shout out to my beard coming in. Oh, so lovely. I don't even have to hit it with a brush anymore. And that's because I use berries from... No, I'm kidding. I was about to act like I'm reading the spot. But nah, bro. So, with that being said, I've never heard of it, but I'm not saying that it ain't a rumor. I mean, hell, there's a bunch of rumors out there. So, I mean, it's possible, but I didn't hear that Fani Willis slept with no Big Nut or anything like that, because she was married and she just recently got divorced. Don't mean that she didn't cheat on her husband. I'm not saying that. You hoes get dick down every single day. But what I'm saying is I never heard of it. Now, to the point of it being YSL Mondo. Now, if she used information from Mondo, that's attorney-client privilege that she actually cannot tell. And that goes into why Mondo possibly didn't get hit with the YSL RICO, is because of that. Now, if Mondo could come through and say, hey, bruh, she took information that I gave her and used that explicitly against me, then he would be thrown off the case and the case would be destroyed. But if he comes up and says that she's using information I gave her to take down YSL, well, then it has to be given to a judge and then figure out, well, attorney-client privilege, that you had information on stuff, but it didn't directly involve you, which means that technically she can get away with it. So that's the problem that people are having, is when Mondo said, hey, bro, I ain't in the damn YSL Rico, but you know what? I know whatever, and that's why I'm not in there, is because she was my attorney and all of this stuff, and it tripped me out. Remember, attorney-client privilege is possibly what saved Mondo from being in the YSL indictment, but from what I understand, they booted Mondo up out of there. It wasn't really rocking with Cuz. So, we'll see, bro, but I never heard of this. I don't believe he was talking about Nut. I seen all the blog sites talk about Nut, and at first I was thinking to myself, damn, is he talking about Thug? Like, she might have let, because it just, run it back. Go back to the beginning of this. He didn't say of a rival gang. He said the leader of a gang, and then she prosecuted him like it's just revenge sex or something like that. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it, but hey, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. Clips!